Well, 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 would you look at that? The thing that is totally not Star Wars is the best performing Star Wars show in a very, very long time, and the most faithful adaptation of a video game ever. One of the stalwart examples about how to do mature storytelling in The Last of Us has failed in the ratings. I mean, I'm not shocked at all by this, but hey, man, what do I know? So Andor climbs as The Last of Us stumbles in latest Nielsen ratings. Let's take a look. The latest Nielsen streaming ratings are in. Now, with the HBO's The Last of Us seeing a noticeable dip in viewership. No. People loved the first season, and they were totally going to buy into that atrocious second game because Neil Druckmann is a genius. With Andor, the Star Wars recently returned, yes, to the Nielsen charts, thanks to the 3-episode Season 2 premiere. It topped the Season 1 debut, and the latest numbers are even better. Wow, I thought that was just, with the gimmick of the 3 episodes, and everybody getting put off by that. Oh my god, they said the thing. They had an SA scene in Star Wars, and that just ended up killing all enthusiasm the people would have for this. It's almost like those knee-jerk idiots whose reputation and their identity is hating on Disney Star Wars as opposed to appreciating a good story. It's almost like blanket cynicism. Doesn't actually mean that much when something's actually good. As for The Last of Us, it's just as the author suspected and kind of everybody else did fans bail after the big spoiler event in episode 2. HBO revealed that the viewership for the season finale collapsed by more than 50%. Yeah, I thought it was 55% from the original. From season 1's finale and 30% from the start of the season. But yes, as you take a look at this, Andor, last time we talked about this, it was in 4th place. It is jumped up to 3rd place. Okay. And The Last of Us, hey, Mobland's on there. Good for that. I hear great things about Mobland. But no Last of Us, huh? Nielsen released the ratings for the week of April 28th through May 24th when episodes 4, 5, and 6 were released. That was after, those really bad first 3 episodes that everybody was going to be turned off of. Oh my god, all that good word of mouth of season 1. It was all going to be tanked by those awful. The rebels playing rock, paper, scissors in the forest. Mon Mothma was just dancing at the wedding. That's all that was in those first 3 episodes, you fucking idiots. The show pulled in, 821 million minutes, viewing minutes. There we go, that's clunky. Landing at number 3 on the originals charts and breaking into the overall, the top 10 overall at number 6. That is fucking wild, man. Yeah, there it is. Okay, that's with everything that is out there on streaming. Okay, you've got I have no idea what that is. 4 seasons, again, no fucking idea. Grey's Anatomy, that's just an old standby. And then you got Bluey, which is the quintessential children's show out there right now. And then you got The Last of Us. Oh, that's so nice. But when it came to originals and people engaging with the second season, why did nobody tune in for that one? Oh, that's interesting. And then you've got Andor right underneath that. That's interesting. Well, Andor is surging. It is a different story for, The Last of Us. Season 2 is the Nielsen ratings for the full week. Episode 3 was released. The show shows a decline from the previous week. The ratings went from 937 million minutes to 827 million. Jesus! A further dip, in subsequent episodes. That one's going to be interesting to track, but we'll have a few more because, leading up to that abhorrent finale, we're only going to have 2 more weeks to see how much growth Andor ends up getting because, from episode 3 onwards, even the people that were praising it through gritted teeth acknowledge that, it's a good show. It's just not Star Wars. I want to see more things I remember from Star Wars in it, but it's a good show. And then, of course, the storytelling peaks with the 3rd arc, so that's going to be interesting to see how many people were checking that out. Well, we'll have to see all in due time. But Tony Gilroy, the guy who's overseeing this one bright spot in a galaxy otherwise long dimmed from a long time ago, he's been making the interview rounds recently and saying some very uncomfortable truths as, Disney Plus and streaming is fucking dead. Marvel Star Wars broke and Disney Plus is dead as confirmed by Tony Gilroy. What's he talking about? Tony Gilroy drops a bomb while reflecting on his time working with Disney on Andor. The creator reveals that Star Wars series cost a whopping $650 million for 2 seasons, which, it's a lot. That is a sizable amount of cash for any production. If you take a look in the grand scheme of Lucasfilm projects, the one that just immediately hops off the page, $230 million for the fucking Acolyte, which you got 8 episodes that ranged in on and around 35, 40 minutes in length. I think the finale was a little bit longer, like 50 and change, but yeah, that's what you got over there. Whereas you got 24 episodes of Andor. Okay, you got 24 episodes that were averaging 55 minutes per. Ended up getting quite a good return on that money. That's still way too much money, even though you could see that budget on the screen, but still, that's just way too much. He did good work with it, so you're kind of rationalizing it after the fact. But going back to this, yes, for 2 seasons, yet by season 2, Disney told him streaming is dead. There is no money. Oh, fuck. That comes from Disney, not just from Tony Gilroy, not just from some jilted ex-lover who's never going to work on a Star Wars project again. This comes straight from the horse's ass. This comes from Disney. Streaming is dead. Despite the massive budget, Gilroy says that the shows were made without interference, but reality behind the scenes shows just how broke Disney Plus really is. And yeah, in an updated article, Disney has announced sweeping cuts to its entertainment, television, and marketing teams, television, publicity, casting, and development. Yeah, they announced massive layoffs this past week, and yeah, I mean, Tony Gilroy is right again. Gilroy didn't hold back while speaking about the making of Andor. He exposed just how much Disney spent and how quickly things changed behind the scenes. Okay, so I mean, for Disney, this is $650 million for 24 episodes. I never took a note. We said, fuck the Empire in the first season. And he said, can you please not do that? In season 2, they said streaming is dead. We don't have the money we had before. So we had fought hard about money. But they never cleaned anything up. That freedom comes with responsibilities. And unfortunately for the audience, because he delivered on his end of this by delivering something phenomenal that is going to stand the test of time, we have to deal with these zombie platforms that if they don't change, we're going to see a massive consolidation in very short order. Because yeah, the streaming bubble, guys, it burst like years ago at this point in time. Netflix won and everybody else is just languishing in the aftermath. Like, did you really have to wait for Tony Gilroy to come forward with this? Or could you just go back a couple of weeks when it was revealed that Jeremy Renner was offered half of his pay packet from season 1 of Hawkeye to come back for a theoretical season 2 of Hawkeye? Why hasn't any of those outside of the ones that were already contracted to have a second season, like Daredevil Born Again, why is it none of those Marvel shows outside of Loki, which was this big gigantic hit, right? Like the best performing Marvel series that is out there. Why has none of those ever gotten a season 2? Why is it on the creative side of things? Like, you can go ahead and you can put out all of these, high, big budget, high named, high Q rating actors. You can put them in front of the screens, but the guys behind the scenes have never written anything more than just their menu order on a napkin or directed a couple of music videos. Why is there such a disparity in quality in compared to years gone by, or even with Tony Gilroy, who has quite the extensive track record of success? Why is he the only person that is brought on with a legacy of successes, as opposed to, his co-workers over at Lucasfilm, the likes of Deborah Chow, who worked on a Rick and Morty episode and a couple of Mandalorian episodes where the seals just clapped because, oh my God, I remembered the things, and therefore you go ahead and give her the most consequential series in all of Star Wars that they put out there so far, telling the story between the prequels and the OT. Elaborating on what Obi-Wan Kenobi did, how he was overseeing the development of Luke, how he was wrestling with the doubts about how he turned Anakin into Darth Vader, how he could have done better. No, it was about this, multi-planetary story about how he was shepherding around an entitled young Leia. Just that was so great. And then they just had this uninspired lightsaber duel between Kenobi and Darth Vader in a rock quarry. What a garbage show that was. But yeah, man. Take solace in the fact that Tony Gilroy is right. Streaming is dead. Disney has no idea how to manage their budgets. And we are, like it says here, streaming is dead. Andor Showrunner just revealed the reason a Star Wars best TV show will never be repeated. Andor Showrunner Tony Gilroy has finally explained the real reason that he thinks there will never be anything like the show again. And it's because streaming is dead. Isn't because, he thinks that, he's hot shit. It's just, it's not because we were so great, he clarified, but because no one is ever going to start a show on this scale again, shoot it practically, and have the resources and the protection to do something like this. Yes, because it's so much easier, like we've seen with Lilo and Stitch, to just go ahead and mine the nostalgia IPs, to just simply go back into the member berry mines, just wring out some hollow facsimile of the things that you remember from the past. Why we're going to be getting a Maul Shadow Lord series. Why, you know, they're just waiting. Okay, they're waiting to break glass in case of an emergency and have a Vader series. Oh, that's going to be so wonderful. How the only thing that is on the immediate horizon for Star Wars is a stupid baby Grogu Pedro Pascal movie with all the key jangles you can go ahead and stuff in there. Oh boy, we're going to have another Hutt. And Admiral Akbar is going to face off against Thrawn. It's going to be so great. Or what is that? Dave Filoni's personal body pillow, Ahsoka Season 2. Oh, that's going to be so great. You remember Mortis from the Clone Wars? Oh, it's going to be so cool to see that in live action. It's recycling hack premises from a fringe TV show, but because everybody is so paralyzed, because budgets have inflated so much, because there are so many uncreative, untalented people staffed in these halls, that all they can do is just bastardize the original material and repurpose it so that these creatively bankrupt vampires will just shovel the slop out and the people will eat it up. Thankfully, some of this stuff is getting thrown back in these studios' faces, but in the case of Lilo and Stitch, man, if it looks close enough, it'll go ahead and pass the smell test, and people will go, oh, I like it, and then not remember it a week and a half later. It's a sad state of affairs, not just for Star Wars, but for entertainment in general, because creativity is fucking dead and nostalgia killed it. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I'm in Don Consuelo, and I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.